Emotionally unstable personality disorder, EUPD, commonly known as borderline personality disorder, BPD, is a type of personality disorder that is defined by a protracted pattern of tumultuous interpersonal interactions, a warped sense of who one is, and intense emotional responses. People who struggle with this disorder usually have experiences with unhealthy coping mechanisms too, like self-harm and other dangerous behaviors. The common experience within this group also includes chronic feelings of emptiness, fear of abandonment, and detachment from reality. You might have heard or read about this term already, but still do not have much knowledge about it. This is a very scary and draining disorder, which is why early detection is needed to have better chances at recovery and healthy coping mechanisms. This is why for today's Inspiration Calling video, we will talk about borderline personality disorder, the basics of it, and how to spot it. But before we even get there, help us grow our community by subscribing to our channel. This is a safe space to learn more about you, your personality, and anything involving psychology. Please don't forget to click the notification bell too so we can notify you whenever we upload new content. If you're done with that, let's get straight into the video. We would like to start this video with the disclaimer. This video does not intend to replace the jobs of mental health professionals and doctors. Please do not use this as a reference to self-diagnose or label other people. If you feel like you or someone you know have been showing some of the signs we will mention later, the best course of action is still to seek professional help. They can provide better assessment and assistance than a 10-minute video. Now that we've established that, let us look at the possible reasons why an individual might develop borderline personality disorder or BPD. Just like other mental health disorders, a large part of why an individual might have BPD lies in their genetics. If they have another relative that has BPD, chances are they might get it too. Second, BPD can also be developed if the person has encountered a traumatic event, especially ones that involve emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, or being exposed to long-term distress as a child. This means that kids who were neglected by their mother, father, or both parents, as well as those who have parents with mental health issues, have higher chances of developing BPD. Usually, the signs of BPD only show up during early adulthood. The earlier it is detected, the easier or smoother therapy can be. This is why it is beneficial to all of us to know the telltale signs of BPD. Here are some of them. 1. Difficulty controlling and regulating emotions. One of the most common signs of BPD lies in how a person manages their emotions. For most, if not all people with BPD, it is very common to have difficulties doing so. This is called emotional dysregulation. By definition, dysregulation, sometimes referred to as emotional dysregulation, is the inability to control one's emotions or to maintain them within a range that is acceptable for regular emotional reactions. This phrase can be used to describe a variety of feelings such as grief, rage, irritation, and annoyance. Increased emotional sensitivity and an inability to return to a normal emotional state in a fair length of time are typical symptoms of emotional dysregulation, which is a component of a mental condition that has been identified. It could involve struggling to unwind, avoiding unpleasant emotions, or focusing on the bad. 2. Unstable self-image. Those living with BPD have always reported having no clear sense of who they are. This is due to the fact that their condition causes them to have an unstable self-image. For 1 minute, they may love themselves and think of themselves highly, but in the next hour, you will see them hating whatever they do, resulting in self-hatred. For the same reason, people with BPD have a hard time keeping jobs, relationships, and beliefs because they may like one thing now and hate it later. People with BPD are like chameleons that change who they are based on what they see as fit for the environment that they are in. 3. Very unstable relationships. Just like what was mentioned earlier, people with BPD will have a hard time keeping a stable relationship. Usually, they only have intense and unstable ones, whether it is in friendships, family relations, and even romantic ones. People with BPD are known for idealizing an individual and then strongly disliking them moments later. This results in short-lived relationships where you can get easily attached to someone but can also leave them as easy as you got them. 4. Fear of abandonment. Even if it's just an imagined abandonment, a person with BPD frequently feels the need to defend themselves from others. No matter the circumstances, even minor behavioral changes are regarded as a sign that their relationship is breaking down. They interpret everything you say or do because they do not want you to leave them, trying to figure out if you are happy with what they are doing. Therefore, a person with BPD may turn manipulative to hold their partner's emotions hostage. 5. A chronic feeling of emptiness. A variety of emotions such as sensations of isolation, grief, or feeling numb or disconnected are all described by the adjective emptiness. When these emotions are a direct result of a loss, tragedy, or other traumatic life experience, they can be considered natural. An underlying mental health disorder is frequently to blame when these sentiments persist past stressful conditions or when they become persistent and interfere with your capacity to perform. But for people with BPD, this emptiness seems to not like the idea of leaving them alone. This makes them believe that there is no way out to their emotions again. This emptiness can also make people feel like they are a nobody or that they are failing in life. As a way to cope with this, people engage in things like drugs, food, or sex only to find out that it does not help for long-term solutions too. 6. Impulsive and risky behavior. BPD can make a person feel incredibly euphoric, which may motivate them to engage in a range of impulsive actions. This makes BPD comparable to bipolar disorder, despite the fact that this is a common mistake diagnosis. People with BPD frequently engage in impulsive behaviors such as binge eating, excessive spending or gambling, overeating, skipping work or appointments, unsafe sex, food addiction, and careless driving. 7. Extreme mood changes. Extreme mood swings that might continue for hours or days are experienced by those with the illness. The range of emotions includes extremes of happiness, sadness, and rage. These emotional states can be quickly provoked because persons with BPD are sensitive. Because those with BPD have a tendency to internalize their feelings, others are less likely to notice when a person's mood changes. An accurate diagnosis from a mental health professional is crucial since severe mood swings can be a symptom of mood disorders like bipolar disorder. 8. Paranoid and overthinks. If you have BPD, you might notice that you are always reading into other people's intentions. It's not that you do not like them or you find things uncomfortable, but people with BPD are just very suspicious of people's hearts. A person with BPD may have a brief period of paranoia and reality loss. They think there is a plot against them by others. They may follow their instincts and stop talking to other people in order to protect themselves. A person may become detached from themselves while under a lot of stress. It may trigger a psychotic episode in more severe circumstances. 9. Splitting. If you present two options to people with BPD, they will tend to favor one and despise the other. Additionally, someone may have had a deep love and regard for someone, but if they think that person has treated them unfairly, those feelings can swiftly change into anger and resentment. The partnerships are therefore precarious. Such intense emotions could be sparked by even slight annoyances and misunderstandings. This is related to what we might call splitting. This describes a mentality that only considers the extremes and disregards the intermediate ground. Essentially, this is the mentality that everything is either this or that. 10. Deeply rooted trust issues. Due to their tendency to foresee others' thoughts and frequently being wrong in doing so, people with BPD have a hard time trusting others. Because of a slight inconvenience, it gives them the impression that someone is intentionally treating them cruelly. It's critical to remember that everyone is affected by mental illnesses differently. Not everyone experiences each symptom. A third of those who suffer from borderline personality disorder also have another personality condition. The disorder known as BPD is complex and stigmatized. It's important to realize that not all BPD sufferers are negative. If you're having problems, it's critical to seek assistance because BPD is linked to a high level of emotional impulsivity and instability. That's it for today's video. You can leave any of your questions, suggestions, or reactions in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can get notified whenever a new video is up. Until next time, thank you for watching.